Have you ever felt overwhelmed by all the clutter in your home and didn't know where to start? Let me help you turn those messy areas into neat, organized spaces in just a few minutes a day. Hey everyone! Today we're going to tackle cleaning up 9 key areas in your home. The method I'm sharing today combines 3 simple steps: decluttering, organizing, and cleaning. By following these steps, you'll easily keep your home tidy and organized without spending all day cleaning. A tidy home doesn't just make your space more pleasant, it also brings relaxation and peace of mind. If you're tired of being overwhelmed by clutter and feeling exhausted every time you come home, don't skip any part of this video. Each area has its own approach to decluttering, organizing, and cleaning, helping you truly take control of your living space. Before we get started, what area in your home do you struggle with the most when it comes to cleaning? Leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your story, and we'll share more helpful tips in upcoming videos. The entryway. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's dive in. The entryway is the first thing you see when you walk into your home, and it's the place that sets the mood for the rest of the house. When it's messy, it can feel overwhelming right off the bat. But when it's clean and organized, it instantly makes your space feel welcoming and relaxing. Here's how you can keep your entryway tidy and functional without spending a ton of time on it. The first step in organizing your entryway is decluttering. It's so easy for things to pile up right by the door: shoes, bags, keys, and other random items. The key is to remove anything that doesn't need to be there. Take a minute to go through your shoes and get rid of the ones you don't wear anymore. Same goes for old bags or anything else that's just taking up space. It's amazing how much better the space feels once you clear out the clutter. Once you've gotten rid of the unnecessary items, it's time to organize the things you actually use. A good trick is to invest in a shoe rack to keep everything in one place. For things like scarves, hats, and gloves, use baskets or hooks near the door to keep them organized and easy to grab. If you have kids, consider using a low shoe rack or a storage bin so they can keep their things tidy without much effort. Having a system like this will save you time and prevent the area from becoming a mess every time you leave or come home. Now that everything is organized, don't forget to clean the area. A quick sweep of the floor or a quick pass with a small vacuum is all it takes to keep the space looking neat. Wipe down surfaces like the shoe rack mirror or any shelves you might have by the door. A simple cleaning routine like this keeps the area looking fresh, and it's an easy way to maintain that welcoming feel in the entryway. Once you've tackled the entryway, you'll notice how much more relaxed you feel when you walk in and out of the house. It's an area that gets a lot of foot traffic, so keeping it clean and organized can make a big difference in how you feel at home. Now that your entryway is looking great, don't go anywhere next. We'll move on to the living room, and I'll show you how to keep this space just as tidy, comfortable, and inviting. Let's dive in. But before we dive into that, stay tuned for some quick and easy cleaning tricks coming up in the next video. These tricks will help you tackle everyday messes and keep your home sparkling with minimal effort. Trust me, you won't want to miss them. Let's dive into the living room now. The living room is where your family hangs out, relaxes, and sometimes entertains guests. That's why it's super important to keep this space tidy and comfy. Trust me, when your living room is organized, it feels so much better and it doesn't take all day to do. The first thing you need to do is declutter. I know how easy it is for things to pile up in the living room. Old magazines, unused decorations, random items you don't really use. The key here is to get rid of things you don't need. Start by going through everything in the room and asking yourself if it still serves a purpose or if it's just taking up space. Maybe you have books you never read anymore or decorations that have been collecting dust for months. Take 10 to 15 minutes to clear out any of these items. It can be tough at first, but once you see how much room you freed up, you'll be glad you did it. After clearing out what's unnecessary, it's time to organize what's left. I found that putting books on a shelf or using baskets for decorations really helps keep things in order and makes the space feel less chaotic. If you have kids, try using toy bins or a low shelf so they can keep their stuff organized without making a mess. Just a little bit of organization can make your living room look so much cleaner and more inviting. Another simple trick is to keep things off the floor as much as possible. If your living room has a lot of stuff on the floor, it can easily feel cluttered, even if everything is tidy. Try to use vertical storage like bookshelves or wall-mounted hooks to keep things off the ground. Now that the room is decluttered and organized, it's time to focus on cleaning. The living room is high traffic, and between the couches, rugs, and coffee tables, dust and dirt can accumulate quickly. Vacuuming the floors, especially in high traffic areas like the rug or the space under the sofa, is essential. I like to use a handheld vacuum to clean the cushions of the sofa too. It's amazing how much dust and crumbs get trapped in there. After vacuuming, wipe down the surfaces. This includes tables, shelves, and any other furniture that collects dust. If you have wood furniture, make sure to use the right cleaner to keep it looking nice. Don't forget the TV stand or any electronics, since they can easily collect dust as well. Finally, if you have windows or mirrors in the living room, take a moment to wipe them down with a glass cleaner. It's a small touch, but it really makes the room feel fresh and polished. Now that your living room is looking great, just a few minutes each day to clear out clutter, organize and clean will keep the space looking and feeling great. Let's move on to the next area. The kitchen, keeping it organized and clean, is just as important for maintaining a comfortable home. Let's keep going. The kitchen is where you spend a lot of your time every day, so it's essential to keep it clean and organized. Trust me, keeping your kitchen tidy doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few simple steps and you'll be amazed at how much better it feels. The first step is decluttering. Kitchens tend to accumulate items we don't use anymore, old gadgets, broken appliances, or even utensils that rarely get touched. Take some time to go through your cabinets and drawers and get rid of anything that's not necessary. Maybe it's time to part ways with that blender you haven't used in months, or the extra set of mismatched Tupperware you've been hanging on to. Getting rid of this extra stuff will not only clear up space, but also make it easier to find the things you actually use. Pro tip: keep a donation bin in the kitchen so you can toss unwanted items as you go. It's a small habit that helps keep clutter under control. Once you've cleared out the clutter, it's time to organize what's left. I recommend grouping similar items together: spices, cooking utensils, pots and pans, so you know exactly where to find them. For example, keep spices in one section of the cabinet and utensils in another. Use drawer organizers or small bins to keep smaller items like measuring spoons and kitchen gadgets neatly in place. Another thing I always do is arrange the items you use most often in easy-to-reach spots. For example, if you use your blender every day, keep it on the counter or in an easy-access cabinet. This way you won't have to dig through cabinets for things you use daily. Now for the final step: cleaning. The kitchen gets dirty quickly, especially around the stove and countertops. Start by wiping down surfaces like your kitchen counters, stove, and sink. These areas tend to accumulate crumbs, oil, and food splatters. After cooking, wipe down the stove immediately to avoid grease buildup. Don't forget to clean appliances like the microwave, coffee maker, and fridge. I always take a few minutes to vacuum or sweep the floor to get rid of crumbs and dirt, and give the floor a quick mopping if needed. Trust me, you don't need to spend hours cleaning your kitchen. A few minutes a day to wipe surfaces, clean up spills, and organize will make your kitchen feel fresh and easy to use. That's it for the kitchen. But don't go anywhere yet. Next up, we'll tackle the bathroom. Keeping this space clean is just as important, so stick around for more tips. The bathroom is one of the most used spaces in the house, and just like the kitchen, it needs to stay clean and organized. I know that it's easy for things to pile up in the bathroom, but with just a few simple steps, you can make this space feel fresh and easy to maintain. Let's dive in. First up, decluttering. The bathroom tends to collect things we don't always notice. Expired beauty products, old towels, or those half-empty bottles of shampoo. Take a few minutes to go through your bathroom and get rid of any personal care products you don't use anymore, especially old lotions, toothpaste, or cosmetics that have passed their expiration date. This will not only free up space, but also make it easier to find what you actually need. Another thing I recommend is checking through your towels and washcloths. If you have any that are worn out or too old, it's time to toss them. Decluttering in the bathroom can be as simple as just cutting down on the unnecessary items that gather around the sink or shower. Once you've cleared out the unnecessary stuff, it's time to organize what's left. I always like to make sure that every item has a place. For example, organize your toiletries into categories. Toothpaste, toothbrushes, and floss together in one spot, hair products in another, and bath essentials like soap and shampoo in a separate space. Use small baskets or drawer organizers to keep everything in its place, and it'll make your morning routine much faster and easier. One thing I like to do is keep things you use daily within reach. If you use your hairdryer or razor every day, keep those items on a counter or in a drawer that's easy to access. Also consider installing hooks for towels and robes so that they're easy to grab but don't take up too much space. Now onto the fun part. Cleaning bathrooms can get dirty fast, especially around the sink, toilet, and shower. Start with wiping down the sink and mirrors. If you're using a mirror cleaner, make sure it's streak-free for that perfect shine. Then move on to the toilet and surrounding areas. Disinfect your toilet seat and rim regularly, and don't forget to clean the toilet base as well, which can often get missed. You also want to clean the shower or tub. Use a good bathroom cleaner to scrub away soap scum and prevent buildup. If you have a shower curtain, take the time to wash it if needed, or replace it if it's getting too old. And finally, don't forget to clean the bathroom floor. A quick sweep and mop will keep things looking fresh and tidy. A quick cleaning routine, just 10-15 minutes a day, will keep the bathroom sparkling and smelling fresh. It doesn't have to be a big chore. Just make it part of your daily or weekly routine. That's it for the bathroom. Now that it's fresh and tidy, we're ready to move on to the next area, your closet. Let's get started. Your closet is another space that can easily get out of hand, especially if you're like most people and tend to store things away without much thought. Let's jump into how to keep it neat and functional. The first step is, of course, decluttering. If you're like me, you probably have clothes in there that you haven't worn in months or even years. Take a moment to go through your closet and get rid of anything that no longer fits, is outdated, or you haven't worn in ages. If you're not sure, ask yourself, when was the last time I wore this? If it's been over a year, it might be time to donate it. Decluttering doesn't have to be a huge task. Just focus on one section of the closet at a time, and you'll be surprised at how quickly you can make space. Once you've decluttered, it's time to organize what's left. This is where you can get creative and set up a system that works best for you. For example, I like to organize my closet by type of clothing: shirts, pants, dresses, etc., and then by color within each category. This way I can easily find what I'm looking for without making a mess. You can also use storage bins or baskets for smaller items like scarves, hats, or shoes. If you don't have a lot of closet space, consider using space-saving hangers or over-the-door organizers to maximize your storage. Once everything is organized, it's time to clean. Closets can easily gather dust, especially if you don't go through them often. Start by vacuuming or sweeping the floor to get rid of any dust or debris. Then wipe down shelves and any other surfaces. If you have hanging clothes, make sure the rods are clean as well. Don't forget the shoes; they tend to collect dust too, so a quick wipe with a damp cloth will keep them looking fresh. And if you store things like bags or hats, make sure to give them a quick cleanup as well. Keeping your closet organized is a process that's definitely worth the time. Not only will you be able to find what you need quickly, but your closet will also feel less overwhelming. And just like any other space, a little bit of time spent organizing and cleaning every few weeks will make a huge difference in how your closet looks and feels. Now that your closet is looking great, don't go anywhere next. We'll focus on the home office. Whether you work from home or just use it as a study space, keeping this area organized is essential for productivity and focus. Let's get into how you can make this space both functional and inspiring. The first step in creating a productive home office is decluttering. We all have that pile of papers, old receipts, or random office supplies that end up on our desks. Take a few minutes to go through them and get rid of anything you don't need. Shred old documents, toss out pens that don't work, and clear out that junk drawer. Trust me, when your desk is clear, your mind feels clearer too. I like to do this regularly so I don't let the clutter build up. Once you've cleared the clutter, it's time to organize. Start by grouping similar items together: office supplies, important documents, and tech gadgets. Use drawer organizers, folders, and storage boxes to keep everything neat and easy to find. If you're using your office for creative work, consider having a separate space for your supplies like pens, notebooks, or art materials. I also love using a bulletin board or calendar to keep track of important tasks and deadlines. Having a visual reminder of what's coming up helps me stay focused and on track. Bonus tip: keep pens, paper, and other small items in a drawer organizer or tray so they don't take up space on your desk. This will give you more room to work. Finally, let's talk about cleaning. A clean workspace can improve your focus and make your home office feel more inviting. Start by wiping down your desk and shelves. You'd be surprised how much dust can accumulate in your office, especially if you're using it every day. Don't forget to clean your computer keyboard and mouse, as these can collect dust and fingerprints. Also, vacuum the floor or sweep to remove any dust or crumbs that might have built up. A fresh and clean environment makes working so much more enjoyable. By taking just a few minutes to declutter, organize, and clean your home office, you'll create a space that's not only functional, but also inspiring. When your workspace is tidy, you'll find it much easier to focus and get things done. Now that your home office is all set, we're moving on to the storage room. Whether it's a closet, basement, or attic, the storage room can quickly become a place where everything gets thrown when you're not sure where else to put it. But keeping it organized is key to maximizing your space and reducing the chaos in your home. Let's dive into how you can organize and clean this area. The first step in organizing your storage room is decluttering. This space tends to be the catch-all for items that don't have a designated spot, and before you know it, it's overflowing with things you might never use again. Take a moment to go through everything and get rid of what you don't need. Have you really used that old blender in the past year? Or those boxes of seasonal decorations you never put out? Purge items you don't use regularly. It will free up so much space. One easy tip is to sort things into keep it, donate, and discard piles. This makes the process quicker and less overwhelming. I like to focus on one section at a time so it doesn't feel like a huge task. Once you've cleared out what you don't need, it's time to organize what's left. Use storage bins, shelves, or clear plastic containers to keep things neatly contained and easy to find. Label each bin so you know exactly what's inside, whether it's holiday decorations, extra blankets, or seasonal clothes. This will help you avoid digging through piles of stuff when you need something. If you have items that are used less frequently, try to store them on higher shelves or in the back of the room. The things you use more often should be kept in easily accessible spots. Use stackable bins or pull-out drawers to make better use of vertical space and keep things organized. After organizing, take some time to clean the space. Sweep or vacuum the floor to get rid of any dust or debris that has built up. If you have shelves, wipe them down to remove any accumulated dust. Clean out any cobwebs in corners or behind storage bins. It's easy to forget these areas, but a quick cleaning will make the whole room feel fresher. Don't forget to check for any moisture or dampness in the storage room, especially if it's in a basement or attic. Excess moisture can lead to mold or damage, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on it and clean up any spots right away. A tidy and organized storage room will make your entire home feel more spacious and manageable. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to find things and how much calmer you'll feel when you need to get something out of storage. That's it for the storage room. We're almost done with our organizing journey. Up next, we'll tackle the children's room. Let's continue. If you have kids, you know how quickly their toys, clothes, and random stuff can take over their space. But don't worry. Keeping their room neat and organized is totally doable with just a little effort. Let's break it down. The first step is decluttering. Kids grow out of things fast, so it's important to regularly go through their room and get rid of items they no longer need. Start with clothes. If they've outgrown something, it's time to donate it or store it for the next child. Toys are another area that needs regular purging. If they haven't played with a toy in months or it's missing parts, it's probably time to let it go. Go through the room and set aside a box for donation or trash, and make sure everything else is still being used. The goal is to clear the space of things that aren't serving a purpose anymore. Once you've decluttered, it's time to organize what's left. This step is key to keeping the room neat and functional. I always suggest starting with toy storage. Invest in bins, baskets, or toy chests that are easy for your kids to access and put their toys away themselves. You can also use labels or pictures on the bins to help them know where each toy belongs. For clothes, use drawer organizers or hanging organizers in the closet to keep things separated by size, season, or type. This makes it easier to find what they need and keep things from piling up on the floor. Finally, don't forget about cleaning. Kids' rooms can get messy quickly, so it's important to stay on top of things. Vacuum or sweep the floor to get rid of crumbs or dust, especially if your kids tend to snack while playing. Wipe down the surfaces, including shelves, desks, and any toys that are sitting around. If they have a play area with rugs or mats, make sure to clean those as well to keep germs and dust at bay. Also take a moment to wipe down walls and light switches, since kids tend to touch everything. It doesn't take long, but it makes a big difference in keeping the room feeling fresh. Keeping a child's room tidy can definitely feel like a constant challenge, but with a little effort to declutter, organize, and clean regularly, it will stay under control. Plus, the more organized the space, the easier it will be for your kids to keep it clean themselves. That's it for the kids' room. You're making amazing progress. Let's move on to the often overlooked spaces, the hallways, and any miscellaneous spaces in your home. These areas can easily get cluttered because they're kind of in-between spaces that we don't always think to keep tidy. But organizing these spots can make a huge difference in how your home feels overall. Let's get into it. Just like with every other area, the first step is decluttering. Hallways often become the place where we drop things in a hurry. Shoes, bags, jackets, and other random items. Take a few minutes to walk through your hallway and remove anything that doesn't belong there. If you have extra furniture or decor that's crowding the space, consider moving it to another room or donating it if it's not being used. Look for old male shoes or random items that you don't need and take the time to sort through them. Decluttering these spaces will instantly make the entire area feel more open and functional. Once you've cleared out the clutter, it's time to organize. If your hallway is narrow or lacks storage, it's important to make the most of what you have. Consider adding shelves or wall hooks to hold coats, hats, or bags. Storage bins or small baskets can be placed by the door to hold shoes, gloves, or scarves, keeping them from piling up. For other miscellaneous spaces like entryways to other rooms or hall closets, think about designating specific areas for items you use regularly, like keys, mail, or cleaning supplies. Using simple storage solutions like over-the-door organizers or bins can make a big difference in keeping these areas neat and tidy. Finally, don't forget to clean these spaces. Hallways and other small areas can gather dust quickly, especially if they see a lot of foot traffic. Start by sweeping or vacuuming the floor to get rid of dirt and dust. Wipe down any surfaces such as shelves or tables to make them look fresh and clean. If your hallway has windows or light fixtures, take a moment to clean those as well. Sometimes these areas can get neglected, but a quick wipe can make a big difference. For areas like closets or storage spaces, just give everything a quick clean and keep the floors clear to avoid clutter buildup. Hallways and miscellaneous spaces might seem small, but they add up in how they contribute to your home's overall look and feel. Just like the other areas we've worked on, a little decluttering, organizing, and cleaning can make these spaces functional and welcoming. That's it for the hallways and other spaces. You've made incredible progress today. With every area organized, your home will not only look great, but feel so much more relaxing and comfortable. Keep it up, and remember, maintaining these simple habits will keep your home organized every day. Great job! You've just taken the first steps in organizing and tidying up some of the most important areas of your home. From your entryway to your kids' room, and even the hallways, it's amazing how a little decluttering, organizing, and cleaning can transform a space and make it feel so much more welcoming and functional. But guess what? There's more in our next video. I'll be sharing some quick and easy cleaning tricks that will help you tackle those everyday messes and keep your home sparkling with minimal effort. These little tricks are simple yet super effective, and they'll save you tons of time while keeping your house looking fresh. If you found today's tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Let's keep making your home a place you love to be. See you then.